Alright, let's dive right into this another Sweet Baby Inc. saga because this situation is both baffling and, honestly, kind of fascinating. So if you've been paying attention to gaming news, you might have noticed Sweet Baby Inc. Yes, the narrative consultancy firm run by Kim Belair has suddenly gone dark. Their website is down and naturally speculation is running wild. Is it just some technical issue, or have they decided to poof themselves off the web? Let's unpack everything step by step. Around noon yesterday, people started noticing that Sweet Baby Inc.'s website wasn't loading. Instead, it was spitting out a 408 request timeout error. If you're not familiar, this error means the server is responding too slowly, which could be a sign of technical glitches or something more deliberate. Some folks checked isitdownrightnow.com, shout out to them for always answering our "is it just me" or moments, and yep, the site was down for everyone. But here's the catch. A 408 error doesn't confirm anything. It could mean their servers are overwhelmed, misconfigured, or just plain off. That said, in cases like this, when a site stays down this long, you can't help but wonder, did they pull the plug themselves? Oh, and before I dive deeper, let me plug this real quick. If you're enjoying this breakdown or finding it helpful, I'd really appreciate a quick subscribe to the channel. It helps me stay motivated to keep making this kind of content for you all. Alright, back to it. Now, for those who don't know, Sweet Baby Inc. specializes in weaving diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) narratives into video games. Now, I'm not here to say whether DEI in storytelling is inherently good or bad, but Sweet Baby's track record has been, let's call it polarizing, to say the least. Critics and players tore this game apart. I mean, how do you even market a game where Harley Quinn lectures Batman about emotional damage before shooting him in the face? Oh, and let's not forget Captain Boomerang urinating on the Flash's corpse. Iconic for all the wrong reasons. Spider-Man 2, where Peter Parker steps aside for Miles Morales in what felt more like a forced passing of the torch than an organic story progression. Throw in side missions that critics called performative, and you have a game that sparked a lot of debates. God of War, Ragnarok. This one featured a race-swapped version of Angerboda, which stirred up controversy over authenticity versus creative liberties in mythology. And the list goes on with other games, because Wizards of the Coast and developer Took Games just announced that Dungeon and Dragon Dark Alliance's servers are going dark, absolutely no pun, for good on February 24th, 2025. On the same day, the game will be removed from all storefronts. If you already own it, you can still play offline single player and access any DLC, but that's it. No more updates, no online multiplayer, no support. It's done. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise if you've been following this game since launch. When Dark Alliance dropped in June 2021, it actually had a decent start, peaking at around 9,912 concurrent players. But then reality hit. Within a month, the player count had plummeted to under 300 concurrent players. Fast forward to today, and the game is barely limping along with a daily peak of 10 concurrent players. Yep, 10. Let me read you some direct quotes from the community because honestly, they say it better than I ever could. One gamer called Dungeons and Dragons, Dark Alliance, the perfect example of, and I quote, "Why we hate buying games on day one, we are not your beta testers." Another review straight up roasted the game's poor optimization and combat system, ending with, "By the time you play through real classics like Baldur's Gate, you'll have forgotten this mess even existed." And of course, Sweet Baby Inc. had their hands all over this one. Kim Belair and Ariadne McGillivray are credited as game writers, and as soon as players saw that, they flagged the game on Steam using the infamous Sweet Baby Inc. detected curator tool. Now, if you don't know, this group was created to warn players about games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on, and honestly, it's become like a badge of shame at this point. This group, created by a Steam user named Cabrutus Rambo, alerts players to which games have Sweet Baby's fingerprints all over them. Some have praised it as a useful tool for informed purchasing decisions, while others, including Sweet Baby supporters, called it a hate campaign. The backlash against this group even led to an attempt to have Cabrutus banned from Steam. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. Kim Belair herself hasn't been shy about her approach. In various speeches, she's encouraged developers to terrify their PR departments into embracing DEI-driven narratives. While her intent might be to push for positive change, the results speak for themselves. Failed projects, player backlash, and struggling studios. Here's where it gets crazy. Sweet Baby Inc. has somehow become a beacon of poor performance in the gaming industry. Their involvement in a game has turned into a red flag for players, and for good reason. Let's look at the numbers. Dungeons & Dragons. Dark Alliance peaked at just 9,912 players on launch, but dropped to under 300 within a month. By the end, it was averaging 10 concurrent players daily. Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League performed so poorly it led to mass layoffs at Rocksteady. Unknown 9, Awakening, and Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn, both projects touched by Sweet Baby, have faced similar fates of low reception and dwindling interest. And yet, Sweet Baby always walks away with their consulting fees intact, while developers and studios take the hit. So does this website shutdown mean Sweet Baby Inc. is finally packing it in? Maybe they've realized the PR nightmare they're in, or maybe this is just another chapter in their drama-filled story. Only time will tell, but here's the thing. Developers need to start listening to the community. The gaming industry doesn't need more failed experiments. It needs polished, engaging stories that resonate with players. What do you think? Is this the end for Sweet Baby Inc.? Or are they just waiting to rebrand and come back stronger? Or sneakier? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And remember, gamers, stay informed, stay critical, and demand better from this industry we all love. Peace.